But we can do wheelies. One more try. Just one more try, then I'll go home. Stoppy, stoppy. One, two. If you commute in traffic, this engine is going to be quite helpful because this creates decent power in lower rev range, and you can easily go like 30 kilometers per hour in fourth gear and easily in third. So yeah, easy in traffic, but heats up a lot in summers. Yeah, so Guerrilla 450 traffic review. Let's face it, people. You can want to be a hooligan all you want to be, but you can't escape this fucking traffic. And if you're trying to be a hooligan within traffic, I hate you, bro. Fuck you. You're not being a good person out here. Yeah. So as we continue to go through this traffic, I show you how easy it is to keep the bike in higher gears within traffic. Like, see, we're at 38 kilometers per hour, and I'm in fifth already. You can just easily cruise, and if you give it a bit of throttle, it just starts accelerating. But don't give too much throttle because you're gonna start lugging the engine, and that's not good for the piston rings and the cylinder wall. So be reasonable. And I don't need to give throttle and leave the clutch slowly, slip the clutch, as I needed to do that while I was trying out the NS 400. That shit stalled on me when I tried to ride it like this motorcycle. This motorcycle and the Triumphs are very good for traffic. Not sure if the Duke is gonna give you the same amount of peace in traffic and city life. Those bikes just want to be thrashed. See, downshifting, the sweet engine whistle, the intake whistle, everything's so velvety, man. I love it. You're gonna like it too. But the only thing about this is, as soon as you open the throttle full, it starts roaring. And that's great and all, but don't do it in traffic. You will require like 3 months of riding, 2 to 3 months, or maybe even 1 month to set your hand on the throttle. Because once it's set, you won't need eco mode. Well, I used to think that eco mode used to save fuel as it makes the power delivery way leaner, way softer. But you end up opening more throttle, which consumes more fuel. So it's not as good. I stay in performance mode all the time. As you can see, we are on idle in fourth gear, and we are slightly below 30 kilometers per hour. And now I downshifted to third in order to accelerate a bit. Again, fourth. We're cruising in traffic in fourth gear. Just imagine that. Gives you great economy. So these are the things that help you push the economy number to like 30 to a liter, 30 kilometers to a liter. What the fuck? What is this, Mad Max Fury Road? In terms of fuel range, you can easily get 250 and even stretch it to 280 if you want. So if you cruise at 100, it's gonna give you 31 kilometers to a liter on E10, and you can get that in Bharat Petroleum, the speed 95 and 97. Now, what people do is they use the auto cut feature on the petrol pumps. So, wait, if I open the tank, thank God they turn on this light. 1 second. खुल जा. Yep. So you can see the pipe thing on the petrol pumps can't go in because of this line here. But if you just keep filling up slowly, once you see it filling up to the brim, it holds the full amount of fuel it can, and you can easily get 280, a range of 280 kilometers, which is quite good if you ask me. I don't want anything more than that because my butt starts hurting anyways. Yeah. Now that that 1 bar of fuel has disappeared, the bike has run like 35.4 kilometers. I'm giving what the fuck giving I'm giving it some benefit of doubt and calling it 30 kilometers to a liter because I've ridden gently for most of the time, but pulled some wheelies and went fast to not feel awkward after pulling a wheelie, so that it looked like I just accelerated and the wheel came up naturally. But do not be mistaken. I'm putting some effort in those wheelies. This bike doesn't want a wheelie by itself because it's quite long, and the x-axis distance between your bum and the wheel is quite high. Unlike the Speed 400, where you sit on top of the rear wheel practically, and it power wheelies in a dime. You don't need to put any effort. A few changes I did to this motorcycle were first the flat bench seat, and second the monoshock preload. These two things make it a lot comfortable because it wasn't even a bit comfortable before that. The stock seat has very less padding and throws you off at every big bump. Not just the stock seat, but the combo of the preload setting and the stock seat. So what the flat seat does is it lets you move around while doing long distances and absorbs a lot of bumps on daily traffic commutes. And after that, I increased the preload to the third notch first. It got quite comfortable, a bit more comfortable than before. Then recently I wanted it to power wheelie easier. It doesn't do actual power wheelies, you have to add some body input, pull the handlebars with your body. But it got easier when I set the preload to the 7th notch. Attacking terrains. See how supple my suspension will be. See, no need to slow down. It just takes it all in. I mean, I can feel it all. I can feel it all. The bike is giving me all the feedback possible, and the wheels are losing traction for brief moments, but you can attack it. That's the main thing. And it forces you to attack it because if you don't go fast, it's gonna be quite uncomfortable. Not with the flat seat, but it is gonna be quite uncomfortable. That's why I want everyone who gets the GRR or has the GRR to invest in the flat seat. Royal Enfield should have sold it with the bike because A, the stock seat looks ugly, B, it's uncomfortable as. Yeah, I censored myself. The ABS works great on road and off road. When you're off the road and you pull the front brake hard, what the ABS does is let the tire lock for a few milliseconds, maybe 10-20 milliseconds, the front tire, so that the off-roadish tread pattern grips into the dirt and makes you stop faster. Now the exhaust is the last thing left to talk about. So the exhaust note doesn't give you the full picture because most of the great sounds this bike makes aren't the exhaust. So it's a mixture of the intake sound, the sound the chain makes, which I don't like but sounds good from afar. I'll add a clip. And now time to start the bike. Yeah. So kind of brassy exhaust. You can also hear the intake. Now I'm gonna rev it a bit. And yeah, get the fucking base variant so that you can do hooligan stuff with it and not want to keep it in a museum or something because Wow, are those monkeys or what? Yeah, as I was saying, the digital variant, this speedo costs like 20,000. Once you don't have the insurance and crash the bike, it's gonna cost you a lot. And let's be real, you wanna keep your motorcycle simple so that you can enjoy it the most, and it could be the rawest experience. And this one costs 7,000. Don't ask me how I know. About the stock mirrors, which I do not have on right now. The left one keeps tilting down if you ride at higher RPMs, and the right one keeps getting loose. So I threw them off, and I'm using these now. These look good, provide decent view. You can watch your blind spots easily, but it doesn't show anything right beside you, right behind you. And well, one got loose, so I removed it fully. I'm gonna order new ones. So that's it about this bike from my perspective. Stoppy. Whoo! No, no stoppy. Firstly, you gotta find a nice grippy road. Secondly, the ABS doesn't let you do a stoppy, but you can do a bit. I'll add a clip of myself doing it. Yeah, that was nice. Now I'm gonna go home peacefully. One of my homies looped his bike while doing this. The same bike. One more thing about this, the tank is quite wide, so it takes damage when you crash. Not a good thing, considering it's an expensive part. And this flat seat, I think, also helps you find the balance point in wheelies, because as soon as it starts getting too steep, you start sliding a bit, which tells you what to do and what not to. Yeah, there's also a nice jump here. I just forgot. How can I go without showing you a jump? That's the whole point of this channel page. One, two, nice. You saw that little wobble? This bike controls that pretty well. So it's friendly for jumps and wheelies. So my final verdict is that this motorcycle is like what the Ducati Hypermotard is supposed to be, with just 30 less travel in the front. Because if you look at the riding position, it's close to a Supermoto. You sit straight, your legs sit just below your bum, and you can easily saddle, you can easily off-road, you can easily attack the corners, attack the curves. And the best place to ride this motorcycle are narrow roads, are back roads. You can thrash it on any kind of terrain except the hardcore enduro stuff and jumps bigger than a few feet. So my question is for you, are you a big enough maniac to enjoy this motorcycle to its fullest? If yes, go for it, man, you're gonna love it. Yeah, I didn't slide much on this little POV review because my rear tire is so bald. Honestly, the next upgrade is going to be some minoxidil and a derma roller. But we can do wheelies. Damn, boy! Damn! I swear, this fucking mic, I sound so. I mean, it makes me sound like I'm screaming. I swear, bro, I'm gonna start speaking like Michael Jackson at some point if this keeps on going.